Universal Design for Learning, a formula to a teacher's success. What is UDL? Is this a teacher who knows it all? Or is it a person who's trying to profit or succeed to make the universe a better place? I know it's about the universe. I know it involves the word design, and I know that it involves learning. After research, I understood that it's not really that difficult to understand. It simply means providing options and strategies to help students with learning disabilities progress while in the classroom. Part 1. In this presentation, I wish to outline the inspiration for UDL, explain the 3 principles of UDL and provide examples, explain the central role of technology, and describe the potential impact of UDL. So why even incorporate UDL? First of all teachers should always think with the child in mind. This provides accommodations for all, not just students with special needs. UDL also incorporates strategies and technology. Technology is kind of the central unit for UDL to be successful. It provides a blueprint for success for students and teachers, really. It's just another way to differentiate. And it maximizes student learning. Students must improve. It's kind of the law. Teachers are expected to help every single student improve. This includes students with learning disabilities or students that are fine. Teachers have to have a plan before making changes. When I think of this example, I think of a baby who's crying and a dad who's watching the same baby for the first time. In this scenario, the dad has to have options before babysitting the son. These options can include having a bottle ready, asking mommy what makes the baby happy, and even going online to look for material to help with the baby. Like the scenario I just mentioned, there are benefits of providing options and finding these options before teaching. First of all, we need to break down some of these options. It accommodates for physical learning disabilities, and it accommodates for learning differences. Some of these physical learning disabilities can include deaf students, students with poor vision, students with dyslexia, students with autism and special needs, and even ELL and ESL students. The challenge of diversity is not merely to differentiate the curriculum, but to do so effectively. To do this effectively, we need to break down 3 key components of UDL. The first one is to provide multiple means of representation. Second, to provide multiple means of action and expression. And last, to provide multiple means of engagement. Number 1, provide multiple means of representation. This gives students a variety of learning options. Think about it. To represent means to actually present in a certain way. Students can do so by hearing, by how they're able to hear, by how they're able to read, and how they're able to look. This is based on all learning and cultural and mental backgrounds. Here are some instructional strategies that teachers can use to incorporate. First of all, a teacher can make the text large on the projector so that students with visual problems can actually see. They can also increase the sound. They can incorporate audio and video for students who need to see everything when they learn, and even include translators for students who might not understand English as well. Number 2, they can provide multiple means of action and expression. Not every single student will express themselves in the same way. This provides options on how students can express themselves. Here's a few instructional ideas for this. Provide graphic organizers. Instead of just requiring students to write on the paper all the time or to create a report or MLA document. Provide talk to the text when they're reading so that they can actually break down the material and understand what they're doing. Poll Everywhere is a great website for students to use their phones to text their answers as a way of surveying instead of just having students give a thumbs up or raise their hand. Finally, clickers is an awesome form of technology. It's kind of like a remote control, and this is a way that students can test instead of them just writing on a Scantron. Finally, media, videos. This is an excellent way to keep students engaged. Finally, the last principle is to provide multiple means of engagement. It takes different strokes for different folks. Students need options for ways to keep students interested. Some instructional strategies are to provide peer pals. Allow students to have buddies to help them with information that might be difficult. Allow students to self-check. This gives them regulation that they may need. Involve students in the preparation process. Give them a choice on what they're going to be working on. Enhance your anticipatory sets or your startups or warm-ups. Make them creative. Make them exciting. The role of technology is also very important when it comes to UDL. First of all, technology enhances learning. It also breaks barriers. An example of this would be providing an e-book or having students read a book online where they can highlight things that might be difficult, as opposed to them using a paperback book or a hard copy. It provides more options. Think about the many things that you can do with technology that you can't do with a pen and piece of paper. It kind of becomes a mini teacher. Think about the websites that provides immediate feedback. Here are a few examples of technology that students can use. First, we have the Kindle. This is just a little mini online book that students can use to read. They can read at their own pace. Many teachers are starting to incorporate this in the classroom. Desktop computers, just in general. Enhanced keyboarding, highlighting certain letters for students to remember, like home row or helping them to type, or even getting keyboards where the letters are a little bit larger for students who struggle with seeing. Finally, the iPad. There are so many applications that can help students learn when it comes to their comprehension, when it comes to their assessment, and students seem to get excited when a teacher incorporates these types of technology. Technology's impact on student learning. First of all, it can cause reading comprehension growth. I teach a class called Read 180, and in this class I use technology to help the students read by giving them audiobooks. They have technology, and in their independent reading section, they do self-assessments online. I also teach a class called Prep for College and Careers, so technology can help enhance college and career readiness. They've taken career assessments online. Just last semester, they had to do a job interview with another teacher from another school via Skype. This was where they would role play. Students who struggle with understanding English also have translators on the computer. We just did an assignment where they learned etiquette around the world. Part 2. In this next section, I wish to summarize what brain research tells us about learning's differences, explain the implications of those differences, and expand explanation of the central role of technology in UDL by describing 3 CAST online tools. What is my learning style? Brain research, one of the most interesting researches I've ever read. First of all, it's important to know that the brain is divided into 3 main parts. These parts distribute the way that we actually think. The 3 parts are recognition, strategic, and affective. The recognition part of the brain deals with senses. It deciphers patterns when it comes to like your hearing and understanding. Your strategic part of the brain deals mainly with skills and provides plans. And the affective part of the brain deals with feelings and your emotions, and it helps you to evaluate. So, the implications of UDL used in brain research are that teachers need to change things up a bit. Students learn by using different sides of the brain, but not one side is going to help a teacher be effective. With the recognition side of the brain, the teacher needs to demonstrate many examples, emphasize key elements This is what's going to help you understand things by hearing and sensing. For more of the strategic part, the part that helps you to analyze things, give feedback. This feedback is really going to help students when it comes to understanding. And give students an opportunity to give feedback as well. Provide many opportunities for this. For the affective part of the brain, give choices of rewards after students achieve. This is the part that deals with emotions and how well a student feels about something. So these rewards are going to help students feel good. And also give students independence and reign over that material. The central role of technology. What is it, you might ask? Well, it's to provide options. Whether it's comprehension, language and skills, self-regulation, perception, or expressive skills, technology provides a way for all of these options to come true. When it comes to comprehension, you should use material like iPads that help students understand. Without just making them get on the computer, this changes things up a bit, and there's many applications like I spoke of earlier. For language and skills, give them key pals or pals that might help them when it comes to the language. For self-regulation, like this student is doing on the computer, let them check their progress daily. Perception is mainly hearing and understanding. iPods are listening to music. Incorporate music as much as possible when it comes to the curriculum. Expressive skills. My students in Read 180, they're able to record themselves and they listen to their voices after they record and they critique. These are all the central roles of technology. Finally, I was really excited when it came to doing this lesson, when it came to understanding everything, and I found 3 CAST online tools. The first one was CAST Teaching Every Student. And this was just a really good website that gave many different principles for people to understand when it came to learning. And it provides frameworks for teachers to kind of go through. So the name of the book is Teaching Every Student in the Digital Age. Another very useful CAST online tool is the CAST UDL Book Builder. This is a great free online tool that enables educators to just develop their own digital books. I think this could be useful for any teachers who incorporates reading in the curriculum. I could obviously use this in my Read 180 classroom, but I just think that it helps students. It kind of becomes that mini teacher that I talked about earlier. And the last one that I found was the CAST UDL Curriculum Self-Check. Just so the name of that seemed very appealing, the name just involves students to be their self-checkers, and it's a software that teachers can incorporate. It's a free online tool to help educators build upon prior knowledge from students. And once again, this is very interactive. So I think all teachers would be able to incorporate any of these tools into their curriculum to help their learners. Finally, I think it's just important as I end this presentation for everyone to remember the purpose of UDL. It's basically just to provide options for all students, especially the students with learning disabilities, before students become in the classroom. The 3 principles of UDL. Let's remember the impact of UDL. It enhances learning. It provides a better way for students to be able to succeed, and teachers can break barriers as well. It provides a central role of technology, which once again, this role of technology is to enhance learning. I also hope that you take the CAST tools that I just mentioned in the last slide and take this not only home, but take this with you to your schools and share this with others. Universal design for learning. As I conclude, let's just remember this equation. Teachers with a goal plus choices when it comes to our curriculum equals universal design for learning. Thank you for your time.